Well, good morning. Good morning. My sound is a little bit off. My nose is stuffed up. So let's go ahead and get started. It's 10 a.m. Wednesday, and that means that we are doing another Nailing FX presentation. So I'm coming to you from Bien Hoa, Dong Nai, Vietnam. It's a little cloudy, 86 degrees, getting up to probably 90s or so today. I'm coming to you from the Pegasus Plaza. My Nailing FX schedule today, you see on YouTube. Next Wednesday, the 29th, I will be uh, broadcasting from FX Street, live shows. You can always get the information and get the recordings by going to www.tradewithufos.com/OPA and then click on the Get Together button at the top of the page. Sign in, costs you nothing, and you'll get all the information you need. All right, let's start out with the disclaimer. The following videos, clips, demonstrations, presenter guides are for educational and instructional purposes only. Tradictive and Trade with UFOs and its presenters provide trading information purely for the purpose of demonstrating a method of using the products. Users understand that all the content used in the information presented is purely for demonstration purposes only, are not instructions to take trades, and does not provide any indication of predictions of actual results. As a user, you understand and agree that hypothetical results obtained through any presentation, demonstration does not indicate in any way the results you may receive by the products or methodologies we offer. All right, so let's get started. Today is my seventh session. It looks like uh, something happened here. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started anyways. This is a trading review from last week. Last week on the 15th, Wednesday, uh, we put on a trade, or I put on a trade. Um, it was a sell. I anticipated that price would come down to the uh, point where we would get in, and the new strategy or the new indicators that I had uh, shown to you were indicating that it was coming down. The phase, the phase indicator was indicating an up. So we were kind of conflicted there in terms of what it was it going to go up or down. It actually did go up and take us into the trade. Unfortunately, it did not continue to go up and take us into the trade. You can see here, it took us in at the hard number, 400 here, 4,000 if you will. And of course, the commission, because it is a uh, raw spread trade provided by the uh, broker. And so here's what happened. You can see here we had a take profit down here about 220 pips or so down the bottom. And then we had a target for about 20 pips. So it was a one-to-one trade. That was done on Wednesday, last Wednesday. We did get stopped out for $19.80 loss. The MACD, in fact, did turn around and started to show us that price was going to continue to climb. You can see I looked at this about 3 o'clock my local time on Wednesday. Um, just to take a peek, and already saw that the trade was taken out. So that was a trade that really didn't do much for us. So we're going to go ahead and go right into hunting for some trades, see if we can't get some good trades on here. Now, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to try to look at some longer term trades. All right, so we're going to try to see if we can't find some longer term trades for this. So we'll go right into the analysis. Let me go ahead and close this and close this. And I think I've got, no, I've got to go ahead and bring up the MetaTrader here. There we go. All right, so here we have a 1 hour chart. And I've got the 2358 moving average. That's the four moving averages. And I'm going to switch to a daily chart here. And what you can see here on this daily chart is that for the yen, price has basically gone sideways for a long time here, back since, well, April. And here's what I like to do, and I'm going to show you this. I'm going to go to dailies on all of these and change the profile. I have a template and go with that template. See, I've got 8 in the window, and I usually will adjust the windows. And what I'm going to do is adjust the windows for you so you can see how I do a quick understanding. Now, many of you will have the dollar index, and you'll be watching the chart of the dollar index. Now, some of you will not have the dollar index. And so how do you tell the strength of the dollar if you don't have a dollar index chart? You can look at it and see what it's doing. So the dollar index gives you a good feeling for where price might go. All right, so now I've got here a 8 charts, and the only reason I have 8 charts, even though there's only 7 majors, right? 7 majors that we'd be looking at. I've got 8 charts because I've added the US SGD, that's the Singapore dollar. The reason I've added the Singapore dollar is it's traded fairly well over here, and I like to balance out this screen so you can see that it's totally balanced out. Now, all of these screens have the 2358 moving average profile. And so that is the profile that I'm using here. And now I'm going to go ahead and change all of these to daily. Very easily done. And so what you might want to do is set up a profile. Whoops, that's daily already. So that you have these 8 charts. Now, you may be thinking, well, what's the big deal here? Well, let me show you in just a second. My nose is killing me. All right, so you see I have the Euro USD. So the Euro is in the base position, okay? Here I have the USD CAD. So that is not in the base position. So what I need to do is I need to move the NZD to the position up here so that all of the rows on the top have a different currency pair or different currency in the base position, and all of the ones on the bottom will have the US in the base position. So then I can look at the chart on a daily basis and very quickly see what is happening to the US dollar. How is it faring against all the major currencies? So let me go ahead. Now, if I just move this up here, it's not going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look down here, and you see this, the sequence that it always puts in is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So 1 and 2 are okay, but 3 and 4 are out of whack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the NZD to the 3 position, and then I've got to move the Aussie over 1, and I've got to, let's see, Aussie, US, GBP, US. Now that these are in line, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now I just go up here to my arrange windows, click on arrange windows, and there you have it. So now all of the non-US currencies are at the top line. And I just have to look across the top line, and if I see all the major currencies going up, going up, going up, going up, that tells me what? That the dollar is weak, that it's dropping. And if I look down here, this is the dollar in the major position, okay, in the base position. I see that the dollar is going down, it's going down, it's going down, it's going down. So what does that tell me? It tells me that more than likely, over the past few days, several days, that the dollar has been continuously weak. And if I am buying something where the dollar is in the base position, I'm probably going to get stopped out because the dollar is going to continue to go weak. So I should not be buying. All right. So let's now take a look at what we've got here. So I'm going to go to the euro. Here we'll take a look at the euro. All right. Now remember, I like to have the MACD on this. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the MACD on. And it seems to indicate that, well, we have a high here, and we've got a higher dollar, higher in the chart. So there is some divergence, but this hasn't completed. This is still rising, and we're looking at a daily chart. So, and looking at the profile, we can see the profile is rather strong to the upside. Now, in the trading view chart, we have the auto phase. The auto phase. I have a similar indicator here. And so let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead, go down to this one. And it's called the zebra alert. The zebra alert and the auto phase are very similar. They're actually the same, except, well, here you'll see that the auto phase, or the zebra alert, is indicating that we should be watching price to come down. Now, are we going to just go ahead and go short on that? No. Why? Because the auto phase and the zebra alert, the alert that I've got here, are exactly that. They're alerts. They're cautionary indicators. It's telling you that according to the algorithm, price should possibly maybe go down. Oftentimes it works, okay? But we cannot accept just that, because what will happen is if price doesn't drop and continues to make a higher high as it did back here, okay, the auto phase will put in another indication. It'll basically say, "Oh, I was wrong." The auto phase doesn't care when it's wrong, right? I was wrong, and now maybe it's going to go down. Okay, but we need to have something that is a little more, can't wait forever. So remember, we get a confirmation signal. Confirmation. Now this goes back to when I was doing these sessions a month ago, more than a month ago, maybe, uh, talking about how do we get confirmation. So on the daily charts, and the daily charts actually work out probably the best. So if you want to be a longer term trader, you might want to go ahead and go watch with the daily charts. So you're going to be looking at this at the auto phase on Trading View. So we'll go over to that in just a little bit. But right now, let's see if the alert can be confirmed. And so let's just go ahead and start here at the left side, and we see that we have an alert. So price is going up, it's rising. Oh, excuse me. It's rising, and we get an alert. Now, the prior day, we could have had an alert here. Your auto phase will show you that. In this version, I do a recycle, and it eliminates the prior indicators, the prior. So I'm only seeing the one that's most valid. And so what is the confirmation of an alert? Okay. Now this is provided in the alert and confirmation guides that you can pick up from the Trading View. Not from the Trading View, from the Trade with UFOs. Make sure you're signed up, and you can get these guides. All right. So now, when we have a shorting alert, it's not a trigger. Remember, not a trigger. We have a shorting alert. What we need is we need a close below the low of the alert period. Okay, so this is the alert period telling us we should consider going short. The next day, it closed below the low of the alert period. So the next day, that period. So that tells me that I can consider going short now. Okay, now when do I go short? Well, I'm looking at my profile. My profile still seems to be rather strong coming up, right? We wouldn't have seen all the rest of this. So the profile looks rather strong. We would have had a small bend in the direction. So I can do one of two things. I can go ahead and put in a sell, a market sell, or a limit sell, however you want to do it, uh, at the close of the close. Okay, a sell at the close. Or because the profile is showing me some strength, I can say, well, there might still be some pullback to the top. moving up. And usually, not always, but when the profile is strong, like it is here, it's not unusual for price to do a retracement. And so now I can look at uh, a 1/3 or a 1/2 type of retracement. You can use your Fibonacci numbers for a retracement here, and maybe get a little better entry because your stop, remember, we use the SET approach, stop, entry, target. So I know that my stop belongs right here at the top of this arrow. And if I measure that, remember we're on a daily chart, if I measure it all the way down here, that's a 243, 44 pip stop. Now, can you put on a 244 pip stop? Sure you can. You say, well, no, I can't. I don't have enough money. Well, maybe you don't, but what are you trading? What are you trading? Are you trying to trade standard positions and put on a 200? Obviously, you've got to have a big account to do that. Maybe even in a mini, you might not be able to do it. But you probably can do it in a micro, okay? So you can probably do it in a micro, okay? And you can build your account slowly, yes, slowly. Or, like I said, try to pull back a little bit, see if you can reduce that sub to about 185 pip stop. But remember, you're trading on a daily chart, trading on a daily chart, and you're not going to maintain that big stop for very long. That's the normal thing. Usually what will happen, you will quickly see that you make 50 pips. Now, I'm not saying put on a 244 pip stop and go for 50 pips. I'm always saying that I'm going to be looking for a 1-to-1 as a minimum, So if I go with the close, and that's a 200 up to here, 244, coming down here, okay, that's a 250, and it actually went down to 500 something. All right, so let's take a look here and see what happened. Okay, see what happened. Now, I've got this alert. I've got a confirmation. And what do? I look down at my MACD, and I see that the MACD has still not topped out, right? So I go to the next one and it's still not topped out. At the close of this day, it actually has stopped out, okay? It's rolled over. You can see it's rolled over. And again, I have a little indicator, if I can. Where's my MACD pivots? Whoops, cancel. I have to drag this onto the lower window and say OK. All right, so there you see my MACD pivots. And so now, with the MACD pivot showing me red, that means it's rolled over. Okay, it's rolled over. The direction, the blue line, direction line is now telling me it's going down. The oops, my mom. The direction is going down. The street is turned opposite, turning down. Okay, and we're basically now crossed. Right, we've crossed the three uh, profile lines here, closing below that. So this would be a higher confirmation, if you will, for the stop, for the trade. And where am I going to put my stop? Well, I usually go to what's called a 2-bar look back. So if I'm going to get in here, so this is 1, the high of the 1, the high of the 2, and just above the high of the 2. So that reduced the stop a little bit. Again, maybe I look for a little pullback in here and see if I can put on a trade there. I could put in a limit order right there, and you'll see how that goes. Now, additionally, this alert has been confirmed by the fact that we have the blue crossing the red. Remember, when blue crosses red, we go back and find the highest high pivot prior to the cross, which was up here, and that is the alert. So this arrow, and so the arrow came in first. We got the confirmation that that was the alert. We did get it confirmed. Price is moving down. We got to close below the 3 profiles, and then we get a close below the median. Remember, the green is the guardrail, so we've crossed over the guardrail, and now we've crossed the median. So when we've crossed the median, it basically says what? Well, we're on the wrong side of the highway. We're on the wrong side. So we've got to change our direction, all right? And so all of these things help us to determine. Now, you have to decide how are you going to make your entry. Now, I'm telling you, this works best in the daily time frame. So these are going to be longer term trades. You're not going to have many trades, but the trades that you get out of this type of analysis are going to be more productive, if you will. Okay? They're not all going to win, but they'll be a little better trades. You've got a better chance. So that was this trade. So let's look down here, and let's see what this one says. Okay? This says that we have a probable long position. We've got an alert here for a long position. All right, if that's alerting us to a long, then what do we have to do? We have to get a close above the high of this period. And the next day, it did go higher, but it closed below the alert period. So it's not confirmed. The following day, so this is alert plus 1. This is alert plus 2 periods. And on alert plus 2 periods, we did get a close above the high. And so now we have a confirmation of the alert. So we look down and we see the MACD on that confirmation is still not coming around, okay? However, we see that we've got a blue crossing red, Okay, blue cross. Well, we have a blue crossing red, and this period here is also crossed the median. Okay, we did kind of hit the guardrail, crossed over it a little bit, but then we had the crossover. And so there is your final confirmation on a daily. Again, uh, looking at a little bit of a pullback. Why? Because uh, it's there's still an indication that it might want to come down. Okay, this one actually says up, so we could jump in on that. If you wanted to try to get a little bit of pullback, you could. Whereas the stop is down here again, close to a 300, 278, 280 pip stop. Um, is it going to go 1-to-1 up here? Maybe, maybe not. How are we going to determine where it might have some problems? Where will it have some problems? Well, that's where the UFOs come into play. The UFOs from the trading view. Remember, we are going to look at charts simultaneously, so that we can see the best possibility of looking at a chart. And I would suspect that there will be, if we got here, there probably will be uh, a UFO cell sitting right above here. We'll see. Okay. So we could go, and if we had that, then there's not a whole lot of room for it to go 280 pips. So I'm going to have to uh, make a decision at that point. So you can see that there was no alert for this to turn down. So what do we have to do? We have to go to our secondary method and look for a crossing of the blue and red, which happened here. Following it back, this would have been the alert period. Here's the low here, and here's the close below the low. And it's saying that it probably can go down. And what do we got here? You can see here, it hits that 50 pip target on a daily. Usually it will do that. And so then price is now moving sideways. Here we get another alert, right? The next period doesn't look like it closes above. You'd have to confirm that. Let's see if we can find values here. All right, so I don't think that actually, because there's a little bit of a wick sticking up here, probably equal. Maybe that's a good one. If it is a good one, uh, we could look at it getting in there. And you've got this move here. Here we have another shorting alert, and we immediately get a close below the low of that shorting alert. So again, we can make a decision. Do we want to go ahead and get in, or do we want to wait for more confirmation? And how far away? Where can it go? Where is the um, um, saucer, the UFO, so that we know where it's likely to turn around, right? So now the other thing that you can do with these alerts is once an alert is confirmed, like this alert was confirmed, And this alert here was confirmed. You can, in fact, use this low and this high, and use that to use it as a breakout level. All right, so let's go ahead, and I'm showing you a lot here today. Let's go ahead and put this level on here. All right, so that's about right. It really, okay. And let's go ahead, and I'm going to copy that one. Why is it? Oh, I got to activate it. All right, so down here. So those are two levels that we could now use as potential breakout trades. Okay, potential breakout from that level. If we get a close above that, which we got right here, right? There's a close. What do? We look down. First of all, we're looking at the profile. The profile is very strong, showing us that we should see a move to the upside here, right? So there's a good indication that price is going to go up. We look down here. The MACD is showing us that it's very likely that price is going to go up here as well. And so we could take a trade and again look for where might it go based on the UFOs of the trading view, in the trading view. So let's go to the next one here. Here we have a shorting alert back here. Price closed below the low, so that is confirmed. Now we have to look down below. It did not give us, the MACD didn't give us a confirmation to the MACD, but we did the MACD. So now we have confirmations in the price and MACD, and we can see that the profile is getting constricted. Okay, it's starting to roll over. So again, we could take the trade at that close, or because we're coming from a very strong profile, maybe rather than taking it at the close, we want to go up and, you know, move it up some amount. It's up to you, because you're going to be looking at a 2-bar look back. So if this is the 2-bar look back, and let's say you only want to take a 75 pip stop, knowing that you're going to do that 75 pip stop, you could put your trade in based on the stop. Your entry is based on the stop then, okay? And you're going to be looking for a 75 pip. And down here we see it goes to 150, so that goes to 2 to 1. But we don't know that at this time when we're here, okay? However, the MACD is giving us a good indication the price is dropping. Here, what do we see? Okay, what do we see? All right, price come back up. So now again, what can we do? We can use that pivot point there, and this pivot point here. If we get a close above this level, or a close below this level, then we're looking at breakouts, right? Breakouts, all right? And so here we had a close above, And we look down below and we can see that the MACD is really giving us a strong indication that price is going to move up. The MACD is above the signal line. Here the MACD is still up, but it's dropping. You see the red little droppings here? I put those on just to make it more visible. But the signal line is above, so it's still pressuring the MACD to come down. All right. Here, the signal line is actually supporting the MACD, giving it an indication to go up. So here we get a close below. I would go and look at my last pivot, which is down in here. Maybe use that as a possible stop. And then knowing where my stop is, I then can identify my target. And again, that would be up in this area up in here, because we would be looking at the trading view chart. So let me go ahead and adjust this. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this so that we can see. Okay. All right. So now let me pick up trading view. And I go to a chart. Come on. A little bit slow here. I usually have this set up in advance, but I was running into some difficulties earlier when I was setting up. So we're having to see this. Trading view, where are you? Here it comes. Where is everything? Oh, so where's my selections? Come on. I was playing with some channel indicators here, but there we go. All right, come on. Where's the rest of my? Let's see. Oh, trading view is killing me here. All right, let's see. Can we get anything yet? Still. Let's see if I can change this to daily, and we'll work on this one. Holy smokes. Don't know. This is what happens sometimes. So this is one of the reasons that you're seeing here. This is one of the reasons why you need to make sure that you have stops put in place when you're trading. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Looks like I'm having a problem with the internet. I got good signal strength, but all right. So um, since we can do this one, I'll go ahead and add my profile. Right, so there's the profile, and we've got to go to the CAD over here. So here's the CAD here, and add in the MACD. All right. So here we are looking at this in the CAD. Go ahead and also for the CAD, add the alert. You see here, you see the alert here. It says that we have a buy a long alert. Yeah, it must be based on number, but there's a strong move to the downside. So this buy alert, excuse me, this buy alert needs to be confirmed, right? Needs to be confirmed, and that would only be confirmed if we get a close above the alert period. We can see that the MACD is dropping. It's dropped below the signal line. It continues to come down. Over here, we see that it is dropping into a buy zone. There is the UFO right here. However, the climate is still to the downside, right? The climate here is going to be 7, and we're only at 2 right now. So we could see that it could go down 5 more periods, 5 more days. All right. So the next level is way down in here. It could go down here. I would say that that is more likely. It's more likely that the Canadian is going to go down. Wow. All right. So the Canadian will be going down further, maybe down into here, the 1.323 level down in here. Okay. I don't know why I'm having all this commotion today. All right. So let's go or look back up at the euro. Change that, see how long it takes to switch back to the euro on the daily. Huh. So we're still looking at the charts to respond here. Very, very slow in response. I don't know if it's the internet connection or it's trading view, but something is not helping us here at all. So we're kind of in a dead state. Let me go ahead and take a look and see if we can motivate this a little bit. I'm really sorry, folks. It's tough to move along quickly when when we have these kinds of glitches. Let me go ahead and close this, leave, and come back to it. See if we can come back to it. Go to charting. Basic UFOs. Oh my gosh. Well, this can happen at any time. Unfortunately, it's happening now. We're getting very, very slow response. I don't know why. Here we go. Okay. What? This is supposed to be basic UFOs. I don't know why we've got other stuff on here. All right, so there you see when we were talking about the autophase. Here, the autophase is showing that we have uh, indications for downside movement. However, there's no confirmation. See, there was no confirmation all the way back here. No confirmations. No confirmations. Okay. Here, down here, we have a target. Here's your target. Let me see if I can bring up the. There we go. All right. So now I have to go back to Euro here. There we are. All right. So now we have a data lag here that needs to be, see if I can get that to come back out. Go back to daily. No. All right. All right. So here it is. Here it is. We've got an alert to go short. However, nothing is really telling me that we should be going short. What would be a really good confirmation on the trading view chart would be to have a shorting UFO right up at the top here, right at the top. Right? So let's go ahead and switch over, go to the JPY, see if we can get that to come up. All right, there it is, JPY, and we've got a lot of indications here. Let's go ahead and see if I can get the JPY here. JPY looks like it wants to go short. We're sitting in a short, right? We saw that the dollar was weak. We saw the dollar weak. So a short may in fact be the best thing to do. Let me go ahead and see what our alert tells me. The last alert was up here. We don't have an alert here, and we don't have a breakout till way down here. All right. Also, add the MACD. And the MACD is also confirming that we are looking at a movement to the downside. So we are hitting this alert, and we've got two alerts right on top of each other. So that means we have to combine those two alerts. And so that would take us into the top of this period right here. JPY daily. I think this is the JPY daily, isn't it? Dollar yen. This is hourly, sorry. Didn't look right, so we have to make sure that we're seeing the right daily. All right. So we're actually sitting right inside the zone. Right below it is the buy zone. You might be able to pull off a one-to-one type of trade. Let's measure. Here's where we are now. I could put in a limit sell just above here and see what that is. That looks like it would be 55 pips of risk to a 90 pips. So that's close to 2-to-1 risk reward. That looks like a pretty good trade to put on. The auto climate also is confirming we are in number one of the downside, and it's telling me that we have at least five to six possibilities here for getting into this trade. So I've got 3 minutes left. I'm going to go ahead and start putting on this trade. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can show you the euro dollar index. Okay, and we're looking at a weekly here, weekly. Okay, the euro is going up. You can see it going up, up, up on the weekly chart. We want to use a longer term for that, right? So on the weekly chart, we're going up, and we can see the dollar index is dropping down. So we have a good feel for this, the dollar being very weak. And so let me go ahead and go back to basic UFO. Seems to be working much better now. So let's go ahead. I am going to put in a trade at 107.00. So it's going to be 107 even, with a stop at 107.55. 107.55. And my target is going to be 106.11. 106.11. Okay. So there's the trade that I'm going to put on. It's going to be at 107 even, 107.00. My target is going to be 106.11, and my stop is going to be at 107.55. 55. So if you got those numbers, you can see them right here, 107.54.4. I'm going to make it 107.55. And this is going to be 107 even for the entry. So I'm going to put a limit sell order anticipating that price is going to pull back up and come into this zone, the sell zone, and then drop down to uh, this area down in here. Hopefully, it'll get down here to the 106.11 area. Okay, because this is 106.10, so I'm going to make this 11. I might even make it a little higher, just because I'm looking to the left and I see that price uh, has touched this area, but pulled back significantly off of that. All right, so that's it for today. You got the numbers. We'll take a look at it next week, and see what the result of this trade was on the Japanese yen. If it did go and pop up, take us in, and then drop down. We're looking at a daily. We're looking at a daily, and so that's we're looking at about 90 pips of profit over a few days. Might take a couple of days, might take today. Who knows? All right. So next week I will be on FX Street. So make sure you log into FX Street and watch the session. Until then, have a great week and good trading.